Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be talking about staying positive. And it doesn't really matter. Now, most of you who know me know I'm a fairly positive person, and most of you who I am connected to are also very positive, forward-thinking, and strategic people. So you are likely a type of person that already gets this, but let's just bring a little bit of language to it and why it is so important, because we sometimes get to the place where we get into the funk, we don't know how to get out of it. And if you had a chance to read the article I posted this morning that led into this chat, you will see that I gave you some ideas about how you can get out of the funk. But let's talk about why it matters to actually be positive in our lives. Quickly, I want to share a little story that happened just this past weekend. On Thursday, the toilet in our ensuite decided that after 23 years, it was not going to function anymore. So, okay, we knew we were going to have to change it eventually, but we were going to have to change out that toilet right away. My husband had taken Friday off already as a way for us to spend time with our kids. We were going to go away for the day and just do some day stuff. And it turns out that we were going to have to work on the toilet that day. But that's okay because it was raining on Friday, so we'll just take the kids on Saturday. Well, in the process of removing the toilet, I don't know if you do this with your upgrades in your house, but one renovation leads to another. The bathroom had been wallpapered and had been there since we moved in, and we've been there for 17 years. And I've hated the wallpaper, but it was behind the toilet. So if we're going to move the toilet, we might as well remove the wallpaper and paint the walls. And in the process of removing the wallpaper, my husband slipped and fell into the bathtub. And, everybody came running because it was quite a sound, and he had made quite a noise and not a swore, and it's like, oh my gosh, did you hurt yourself? Are you okay? And yeah, I'm okay. But he put his elbow through the tile in the wall, because it turns out that the wall had a little the seal at the bottom, which we knew we were having trouble with, was obviously not sealing, and it was the wall itself, or a small piece of the wall, had all got soggy and it pressed in. So just changing the toilet ended up in painting the walls, and now we have to change the tile on the bathroom wall. And it was like, oh, well, apparently we're not going anywhere on Saturday either, because we have too much to do. So we had to put it off until, maybe another weekend. But when we actually sat down and thought, what is it that we have to get done, and what can we do to ensure that the things that we want to get done are also going to get done? And it wasn't cursing and swearing about the things that didn't work, or being upset with the bathroom because it's, it needed updates done, and the fact that everything had to be done at the same time, or that we had to spend money that we hadn't put aside specifically for this, or whatever it was. It was focusing on what we actually could get done. And we actually got quite a bit of it done. We did get away with the kids on Sunday. So I just wanted to share that little story of the fact that we had some choices to make about what position we wanted to take our emotions into. And we stayed on the positive side, and a lot got done. We have a lot to do, but we can still use the bathroom now. So that was the key component. So what I wanted to talk to you about staying in the positive motion is that, or the positive emotions, is that you have to believe for something to come true, for something to happen in your life, for you to be able to create something in your business, in your family, in your relationships. You actually have to believe that it's possible. And to believe that it's possible, you must have a positive outlook on what that outcome is. So let me share a couple of people over the history of our human race that have believed in something to make it come true. So first I thought about Roger Bannister, and he was the person in 1954 who broke the 4-minute mile. For years before that, they had come to the conclusion that the human body could actually not do any more. They couldn't run any faster. There was no way that anyone would ever be able to break the 4-minute mile. And because Roger had a positive outlook, that he believed that it was possible, that something else was possible, he was able to actually get to the place where he broke that 4-minute mile. And without that belief and without the positive outlook on what he could do, he might have believed that it was possible, but there's lots of people that might have thought, well, it's possible to go faster than the 4-minute mile, but no one believed that they could do it. And no one had a positive outlook on their own capabilities to actually get past that 4-minute mile. And of course, since he's done it, many people have been able to break that 4-minute mile because he showed that it was possible. And he had the positive outlook on it. Now other people can focus on that possibility. And who knows, maybe someday we'll find out that you can go faster than the speed of light. Currently, we believe that it's a physical barrier and that you can't do it beyond the quantum mechanics of how light moves and whatnot. That said, who knows, maybe someday we'll find out that there is a possibility beyond that as well. So how about Christopher Columbus? Before he went across the Atlantic, there was a lot of people saying, well, the world is flat, you're just going to fall off the edge. And can you imagine getting in your ship one day and just sailing out across the ocean and the people that had to believe in him to get on the ship with him? And how far do you go out into the ocean before you make a decision that you can't get back, that there's no farther to go, or that you've actually explored as far as possible? He just kept going and going and going. He had a positive outlook. He was positive that there was going to be something that he was going to run into, that the world was round, basically he thought he was going to circumvent the world and end up on the other side of China. But no one believed that at that time, or it wasn't as possible as a lot of people had believed. And although there were a lot of people that understood that the world was round and they were calculating it at that time, he was the first person who put his life and other people's and the equipment and the ships and all the resources they had to actually go and find North America. They just bumped into North America. So it took a lot of belief systems, and you had to have a positive outlook on what the outcome was going to be able to even start that journey. J.J. Thomson discovered the electron, and we don't really know a lot. If you study any kind of sciences, you don't hear a lot about J.J. Thomson discovering the electron. But before that, people didn't know that things were really, really small. I mean, small enough to affect our lives tremendously, but so small that we actually can't see it. We had to believe that it existed. And he had a positive outlook on the science of what was believable. And because of that, electrons are the basis of how we have that we currently have electricity. And without electricity, well, we certainly wouldn't be having any Facebook Lives. So there's quite a few people in history that had a positive outlook on what they believed to be true to make it come true, and affected all of us in some way. I mean, think about it. I can remember when I was a kid, dishwashers. My mother would going, why do we need a dishwasher? I have you guys. You can clean dishes. And then I can't even imagine what it would be like to raise my family without a dishwasher. It runs every day. It's crazy because now we have two income families, right? So the parents are now the ones who are out doing the work, both parents, and there isn't someone at home whose job it is to look after the house. So microwave, I can remember my mother going, why would anyone need a microwave? And it wasn't until I was in my late teens before I had the opportunity of having a microwave in my house, and what a difference that has made. Cell phones, Skype, Facebook. Why would we need Facebook? Why would anyone ever need Facebook? Why would anyone ever need more than 128 kilobytes of memory in their computer? Is what one of the quotes for early computing. It's interesting when people have a negative outlook, what they're not capable of doing. But if you have a positive outlook, all of a sudden, the things that you believe can happen will happen for you, because it can't happen unless you believe first. So Jack Canfield and, of course, Mark Victor Hansen, in their book series, The Chicken Soup for the Soul, believed so strongly in what they had created that they spent well over a year and had been rejected something like 40 or 45 times, or maybe more, I'm not sure of the exact number. But they kept believing that their goal of getting the book published was valuable, not just for themselves, but for the people who read them. And they have many, many books of this Chicken Soup for the teenage soul, for the tweens, for grandparents, and many other books that both of them have put out independently. So my point is that everything that you want to happen in your life happens because you have to first believe. And being positive is more rewarding than being negative. Instead of feeling down about what you don't have, what you can't get, what you won't be able to accomplish or access or whatever it is, you feel more engaged in life. You feel more rewarded. You feel more overflowing when you think about something like what you do have, what you have been able to do, what you can make happen for yourself. So spend your time staying in a positive mode. Go back and read the article that I posted this morning that gives you some ideas on how you can do that when you get into the funk. But find a way to stay in the positive mode and believe that what you want to come true, you can make happen with positive intention and with belief. And of course, I'm always happy to see you here on Monday mornings. And I will be hosting a breakfast in the beginning of August. If you want to join me and you have an idea of where you would like me to be in the Toronto area, or the north of Toronto area would be most handy for me, let me know. And we'll see if we can set up a space that's closer to you, or a place that's closer to you. All right, have a fantastic day. We will see you soon online. Take care.